Hello everyone, it's Deb again. So I thought I would give you guys an update on the Suboverland build out, or non-build out as it were. I've been doing things, but it's not necessarily part of the build out. So I just thought I would give you guys an update today. So I think I've changed my mind about the panel. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. I know that I am going to be losing that space that I gained right here, which wasn't very much, and it went all the way across, but I would have had to do a bunch of weird cuts and everything, and considering that my ex is the one helping me and he really doesn't have very much time, I just wanted to make it simple. And so what I'm gonna do is basically just build out a box back here. Like, it will just be, you know, one big box. There won't be any complicated cuts or curves, because this is a really curvy rig and it's got a lot of weird angles and stuff. So I just need to, right now, I mean, maybe in the future I could get a more sophisticated build out, but for right now I'm just going to keep it simple for him, and that means putting this thing back up there and basically losing that space, because remember that the jack and everything was accessible right here, and that is a door, like a little hidden compartment that I really like. I really like that a lot. But if I have this built out with a box basically right up against it, I'm not going to be able to open that, so I'm going to lose that little cubby hole and this little cubby hole. And because it is going to be basically a box that I'm not going to be able to access that area, I had to take off the jack and the tools that are required to change my tire. That was mounted to it, and that was mounted to it, and this is just a wrench that Grady put in there for me. It wasn't mounted, so I'm just gonna have to find a new home for that stuff, probably up in the cargo box, I imagine. I don't know where else I'd put it. So, oh, and when I was taking this off, I think I was further back here in the rig and I couldn't really see it, but I was like, oh, that's a solenoid or an actuator or something. It's not, it's the seat belt. Once I got up close to it, I realized that that's the actual seat belt. So sorry about that if anybody was confused. That's the seat belt holder. I think I could probably get rid of that, but I'm just gonna leave this alone. There's no reason for me to take it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this back on. One of the clips, I've got a clip that broke off when I was taking it apart, but for the life of me, I cannot find where it's broken off on here. All of these are present and accounted for. I've looked at all of them and I inspected them all. They all have that little metal clip. They go all the way down the panel, so I don't know where it came from. I guess I'm just not going to worry about it. There's one screw there that I have to line up with that hole, kinda. I think it looks like it got torn out. Like maybe that was a hole and it got tore out. But then I've got to line all these clips up with those slots right there. And then these little pokey things I have to line up. One of them lines up there. And then this one, it's going to be like threading a needle, because that one goes into that little tiny hole. So, and then these two, I've got to pop into those slots, which are, if you can tell, they're partially covered. So I'm going to have to wedge this and get it back behind this panel. So I'll have to start from the front and try to pop it in going in the back ways. This should be fun. And then I've got the screws, the thumb screws that go into the holes on the very back. My neighbors are out, of course. I love having neighbors 6 feet away from me. Alright, so let me try to get a different angle. Oh, and speaking of updates, I may not even film that. I'm not going to film that just because the neighbors are out now and I just want to turn off the camera soon. But I made a mistake when I bought this rug. This is that plastic kind of indoor-outdoor rug, and I got it for inside my clam because it was, my clam is a 5-sided, so I had to get a round 8-foot rug to actually fit the bottom of the floor, and it's too big. I thought when I ordered it that it would fit in my Thule carrier, but it doesn't. It's like 6 inches too long to fit up top in my cargo box. So I don't know what to do. I mean, look how long it is. It goes from all the way there, all the way up there. And even my clam only goes to like right here. So that's not gonna work. And I'm not sure I can even bend this. Of course my camera's not gonna focus right. But I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try to, because the strands go all in one direction, and so I'm going to try to fold it in half in one direction and then roll it, and I don't know if that's going to work, but I hope it does, because this was a $140 rug and I can't afford for it to be a mistake purchase. I need to be able to take this with me, you know. So I don't know, we'll see how that turns out. Alright guys, so I just wanted to let you know what's going on. Oh, and I got the headlights, or the tail lights, I got new bulbs for them. I actually got 4 of the 3157, and I replaced those 4, but then I realized that every single one of those lights in the back had something wrong with it, and so I had to order 2 more bulbs. And what I actually went to buy the regular Wagner 3157 and they were out, but I could find these, and it has LL on the back for long life. And so what I'm going to do is I replaced, the ones I replaced were all 3 lights in this assembly, and then 1 light over there. And so what I'm going to do is use the long life light bulbs in the bottom, which is the brake light, and the you know, the tail light. And so when you have your lights on at night, it's the red one at the bottom. And so I'll use the long life bulbs on those too. So I'm just going to have to do a little bit of rearranging on these bulbs. But yeah, all 6 of them had something wrong with them. Some of them were corroded, some of them were melted. Some of them were not these bulbs. They used the ones that had the black thing down there, and they don't really fit into the pigtail sockets very well, and I think that's why they blew out, because these are the ones that are the best ones that I've found for these taillights. Alright guys, that's it for right now. One of these days I'm going to get the floor done. I know I keep saying that. But yeah, I really kind of had to make this decision whether I was going to lose this area or not. And I am. I'm just going to lose this area. And the problem is that once I build up, I mean, I have all this space here that I can use. But the actual accessible area right here, once I build out a box that comes right up to it, I'm only going to have like that much width to get back into this area, and I've got like, this is a huge area that I could be putting stuff, but if I've only got access this much, it's going to limit what I can store back in here. So whatever, hopefully I don't lose too much space. I can stick screens back there, and whatever window covers I make I can shove back there, and maybe my pop-up shower tent. I'm hoping, yeah, just by looking at the contours of the thing, of the plastic up here, even though that same box, it will be extended right here, my access to it will be more like my whole hand's worth instead of just 2 or 2.5 fingers. So I'll be able to access it better from inside of the rig than I can from the outside, from the tailgate. Alright, I'm going to get this thing popped back on there, and then I'm going to replace the tail lights, the tail light bulbs, and go from there. I hope you guys are doing well. Bye.